Well, hello, little scientists. It's so good to see you again today. My name is Miss King, and I'm your science teacher this week. And this week, we have been working on weather. So, how'd it go? Did you have fun filling in your chart for weather? So did I. So before we get started, let's talk about our materials. The first material that you're going to need, of course, is your thinking cap. So go ahead and put that on. Great job. This is going to help us to think like a scientist. The next thing that you may want to grab is the RPS science workbook that we've been using this week. If you don't have that, of course, we've been just using pencil and paper and some crayons. And if your parent or you decide that you want to go ahead and get another RPS science workbook, you can go ahead and click on the link. And it says the RPS science workbook, and then this will pop up. You go ahead and make a copy of that document, and we will be getting on to day 2 as we explain. And during this time, on this page, you can go ahead and write down and draw things that go with each weather term. And the weather terms we're going to look at today and learn about are weather, wind, temperature, and precipitation. And of course, if you don't have the RPS science workbook, you can use paper like Ms. King did and draw it. So feel free to go ahead and pause the video if you need to make the chart for today. Now let's continue on. Patterns exist all around us. And the one thing that I have noticed, and I did notice as I observed weather when I was exploring and engaging in it, is that weather also has patterns. And some of the patterns that Ms. King saw were that the sun came up and the sun went down. And when the sun was up, it felt warmer. But once the sun went down, it felt colder. I also know that when the sun comes up, it is day. And when the sun goes down, it gets dark and becomes night. And the sun plays a big role in weather. So, what is weather? Well, weather is a combination of sunlight, wind, temperature, and precipitation. That's why we have weather, wind, temperature, and precipitation on our chart. So right now, you can start filling out this section about what weather is. So weather changes throughout the day. And I know when Ms. King filled out her weather chart, she noticed that on day 1, it was cloudy. But by midday on that same day, it started to rain. And changes not only happen throughout the day, but changes in weather happen day to day and month to month. Weather is what the air is like outside. Let's watch this video and see Peep and its friends as they observe and react to the weather as it changes throughout the day.
Peep and the changing sky.
Blue is my favorite color. I thought red was your favorite color. Well, I guess I like red birds and blue sky. Do you want to know my favorite color? Beaver. That's not a color. Why not? Because it isn't. Beavers are animals. Colors are not animals. Oh, then sky is my favorite color. Sky isn't a color either. It's the thing that's over our heads. The color of the sky is blue. Don't you mean gray? No, I mean... Oops. 1 minute, the sky was blue and clear, and now it's gray and cloudy. Ooh, is it going to rain? I hope it rains. My dam needs rain. Hi, clouds. Can you make it rain? Clouds don't listen to beavers. Why not? Do I have to tell you everything? There are wispy clouds and puffy clouds and gray clouds and white clouds, but none of them listen to beavers. Rain! Thank you, Beaver Boy. You're welcome. Thank you, Clouds.
Wow, what a great video. Let's continue on with our lesson. Now, the next column on your chart, it may have a W, but that stands for wind. So what is wind? And wind is simply air that moves. So right now, let's do gentle wind. Let me see you do a gentle wind. Nice, a nice breeze. Good job. Now let's make our own wind and let's make some fast winds. Woo! And let's bring it back down slowly. Great job. So let's watch another video of Peep and its friends as it observes and also reacts to the wind.
Peep and the 2 Windy Day.
This is my all-time favorite leaf, Peep. And this is mine.
Something about these reminds me of you. Don't know what it is.
What is your favorite leaf, Quack?
Ah, glad you asked.
That's not a leaf.
No, but it's leaf-ish.
How is it leaf-ish?
Well, it comes from a tree just like a leaf, and it fell down from a tree just like a leaf. But you can eat it and wear it, which makes it better than a leaf. Ah!
Ah, no! The wind is taking our leaves!
Hey, come back!
Stop! Stop!
No, this wind is too windy!
From now on, I'm not letting this out of my sight. We lost our leaves.
Oh, they had so much fun with the wind. Now, on our next column of our chart says temperature or a T. So what is temperature? Well, temperature tells how hot or cold it feels outside. We use a thermometer to measure temperature. So if we look at this chart, we can see that when it's cold outside, this part, which is normally mercury, is lower, closer to the bottom of the thermometer. So when it's cold, the temperature is considered low. But when it's hot, the temperature is considered hot and is high. So Let's go ahead and explore some other ways to describe temperature. All right, and the first one is, this is considered partly sunny. And for partly sunny, I think the weather is warm. When it's partly cloudy, the weather may feel warm or cool. When it's sunny outside, the weather feels hot. When it's rainy outside, the weather feels cool. When it's snowing outside, the weather feels cold. When it's cloudy outside, the weather feels cool. And when it's stormy outside, the weather feels cool. If we notice, when we can see the sun, it is hotter. But as the sun goes away, it gets colder and colder. So let's continue on and see a video of the weather temperature changing, but also a video on our next word on our chart, which is precipitation. So let's take another look at this video of Peep and his friends as they observe and react to the weather.
Peep and the rainy, snowy day.
Oh, nothing like rain, lovely rain, dark, puddly rain.
Why are ducks so loud?
I'm going back to my pond. If you need me, just yodel like this. Yodelay-dee-doo, yodelay-dee-doo, yodelay-dee-doo.
It's so quiet all of a sudden. I know, the duck's gone. But also, I don't hear the rain anymore. Maybe it's safe to go out? I'll check. It still feels cold, but at least it's not raining. What are all these white flakes? I don't know. They look fluffy. Pretty. Are there more of them? Whoa! The sky is full of them!
Hey, quiet up there. Ducks are sleeping. So loud, those birds.
Wow, I enjoyed learning so much with Peep. Let's continue on with our next word, which is precipitation. And what is this right here? Can you yell it out? If you said rain, you are correct. What about in this photograph? What is this? Can you yell it out? If you said snow, you are correct. Now, precipitation is forms of water coming from the sky out of the cloud. So if you see in our picture, there's a cloud and the rain is coming out of the cloud from the sky. And on this picture, you see a cloud and the snow is coming out of the cloud from the sky. Precipitation is forms of water coming from the sky out of the clouds. So all of those factors make up weather. And so we have had an opportunity to see weather, and now we have to think about, well, if the temperature is cool, warm, hot, cold, there are certain clothes that I may need to put on. Now let's think. And we're going to start off on the next page on our RPS workbook. So it says, Day 2, explain, draw the clothes to wear for the weather. And of course, if you do not have paper, the workbook, you can use paper. And Miss King drew the picture, and you can take time right now and pause the video and draw some of the symbols that Miss King used. I used some raindrops for rain. I made some little stars for snow. I made a sun, and then I did some little loops for wind. Okay, you can pause the video to copy this chart. All right, so we are going to play a game. And Sunny has already been filled in because I guess Miss King clicked too many times. But if we look at the clothes under Sunny, you will see that those seem like what you would wear when it's sunny, because what is the temperature when it's normally sunny outside? If you said hot, you are correct. So let's move on to number 1. Number 1, look at these clothes. Where would you wear these clothes to? When it's rainy outside, when it's snowy outside, or when it's windy outside? If you said windy, you are correct. Now, the next one, number 2. When would you wear these clothes? When it's rainy or when it's snowy? If you said rainy, you are correct. And last but not least, when would you wear number 3? If you said snowy, that is correct. So let's look at this. For rainy clothes, of course you need some snow boots, an umbrella, your rain jacket for the rain. For snow, you want to wear some warm boots, a heavier coat, a sweater, maybe some mittens. Make sure you have on some thick socks, a scarf. And for the summer, we can have our arms out and enjoying the nice heat from the sun. And of course, for windy days, we can wear a jacket. So I can tell that when it's sunny outside, it's hot. When it's windy outside, if you said cool, you are correct. When it's rainy outside, it is. If you said cool, you are correct. And when it's snowy outside, it is. If you said cold, you know what? Go ahead and kiss your brain, because that is awesome. Let's continue on. So, for Friday, you have a little quiz on Google Forms. And after you do your quiz, there is a virtual field trip that you get to go on. Now, let me go back a little bit, because once you take your quiz on Google Form, you will get a shout out by me. I will shout you out for the weeks to come because you decided to complete your quiz. I can't wait to see how many children go ahead and complete the quiz. But get excited about the virtual field trip because it's going to be awesome. You're going to go to see a weatherman, and a weatherman is called a meteorologist. Okay, that sound exciting? Great. But before we go, you can go ahead back to the science page and you will be able to see a video and see Sid the Science Kid as he wants to become a weatherman. Now, that is optional, so you can do it if you would like, but I would love for you to check it out. Okay, guys, before we go, I'm sorry, I forgot my certificate that I made just for you for thinking like a scientist with your name on it. And it's signed by me, Miss King. It's been a pleasure. See you later, little scientists.